Hey everybody, I'm Adam from the Daggerfish Gear Company, and we're here today at a little lake near our workshop, and I'm going to show you guys a little bit more about the streamer kit and the casting bubble and a couple of different things that you can do to actually go streamer fishing with your hand line. So to start out, let's take a closer look at what is included in the kit. This kit comes with 3 different streamers, and we picked these very specifically because they're very versatile flies. It includes a woolly bugger, which is really good in a ton of different situations, a muddler minnow, great for muddy water, kind of like the lake we're at today, and a purple zonker, which is really good for going after bass specifically. In addition to the flies in the kit, all of our kits also come with a casting bubble, and this is a piece of fishing kit made by an American company. It's really neat because what it does is it adds weight to the end of your line so you can cast those lightweight flies much more easily. I'll show you guys a little bit more about this. You can see running through the center of the casting bubble here is a piece of rubber tubing. This is great for 2 reasons. The first is it allows you to pop the top off of the casting bubble and actually add water to this to increase the weight and then increase your casting distance. The other thing this lets you do is it serves to lock all of the casting bubble down to your fishing line. And to do that, all we're going to do is rotate the body of the casting bubble until it twists, and that twisting is going to bind it to the line, keep it there very solidly. I'll show you guys how that works here. So I've got my hand reel. I'll take a little bit of line unspooled, and usually I just keep this in my pocket while I'm rigging it up so I can use both hands. Take our casting bubble, and we'll just go ahead and feed that line right through the center of the bubble. Once it comes out the other end, we'll grab it and pull some through. And once we get it, 16, 18, 24 inches down, we'll go ahead and start twisting this in order to lock it tightly on the line. And it is locked down tight. It's not going to go anywhere. At this point, we could tie any of the flies from our kit onto the end here using whatever our preferred knot would be. A cinch knot would be just fine here. But I've actually got one already set up that I'm going to show you guys now, and we'll go to casting. So here I've got a rig already prepared. You can see it's got my casting bubble, it's got a little bit of water in there, and then I've tied a muddler minnow onto the end of the line here. In order to cast this, I'm going to come down to the edge of the water, and I'm going to do what's called a whip cast. This is really good for creating distance, and because we're here at a lake, we want to try to go out into the kind of the shady spots where I'm seeing some fish rise right now. You see I'm just rotating my hand using the weight from that casting bubble to create some centrifugal force. When I want to let this go, I'm just going to release my line hand and point my reel hand in the direction I want the line to go out. That line is just going to spool straight off the top of the reel. So I'll show you how that works. 1, 2, 3. So it unspools straight away. The harder you whip it or the more weight you're going to have on the end of that line, the further that's going to go, and you can get distances comparable to a regular rod and reel. I'm going to reel this in slowly and see if we can get a fish to bite on it. And in doing so, I'm going to show you guys a little bit more about the reeling technique. So you'll notice a couple of things first. I'm not rotating the reel in my hand. You can do this. It's a very slow way to reel in. I'm also not taking my line hand and wrapping it around the top of the reel. Instead, I'm using the line hand to guide the line in and rotating my reel hand, creating a little bit of leverage, and using this essentially just to kind of keep that line flowing onto the reel the way that I want it. If you accidentally go below your reel, it's not a big deal. The nice curve here is going to let you cast that out without any issue. I can reel fast or slow depending on how quickly I want to draw my bait in. And if I do get a strike, I can either draw my line hand down across my body, or I can pull my reel hand back, or do both in order to set the hook and be able to reel the fish in. So as we're reeling this in, one of the other real advantages of fishing with a hand reel is that you can very quickly move from one spot to another, and I'll show you guys how to do that. So to quickly stow and move, I'm going to release the water from my casting bubble, let that slide all the way down to where my fly is, and then I'm going to give myself about 16 inches of line here. I'm going to wrap this one time around the very top of the reel, right where the cork is, to kind of lock it in place. Fold this up and tuck it inside of the bottom of my reel. Oops. And seal that with the cork. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this cork in order to lock that loose line down on the reel. And this is going to let me throw this in my bag, move to another spot, or stick it in one of my sheaths and carry it on my belt to another spot along the edge of the lake here. So that's it. That's a couple of different flies that you can use, ways to use your casting bubble, a couple of different techniques that you can use to cast, and we have more in a dedicated casting video on our site. There's also a ton of other information there, as well as accessory products that you can use to expand your abilities to fish in the backcountry. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope this helps you catch a big fish. And if you have any other questions, you can get in touch with us at daggerfishgear.com. We'll see you there.